So for this one there will be a bit of timing involved, plus you need to hit the splats exactly as you need to in order to get the 3 stars on this level. So we've got we've got 4 rotating platforms. They rotate in the pattern all around the exit. We've got a boulder sitting up the top there. We have a bumper down the bottom, and then we've got another bumper sitting in front of a boulder over here, and we've got a pit of spikes that are over here. We've got a slime, we've got a bomb, and we've got a bumper sitting just before the exit. And then we have a stun bomb, 2 one-shots, a bumper, and a mine and a cannon to work with. But for this one we're not going to use all the tools. I'm going to set the stun bomb over here like that. Oh, hang on, let's get rid of that. Make sure it sits well over here. No, make sure it sits well over there. Yep, cool. Then I'm going to set a one-shot up and around this way towards the bumper here. Then I'm going to set up a I'll set up a mine. No, that's not going to fit, so I'll leave that mine. I'm going to set a bumper up over here towards the bomb. Then I'm going to set up the cannon right in this gap here, pointed towards the boulder like so, leaving the bumper and the mine out of the equation, as it is actually. I'll set up another bumper over here, and I'll have that facing towards the slime like so, but I may not need it. So for this tank I'm going to let it ride on the platform to about 3/4 down before I set the stun bomb off, setting the boulder off to roll into the tank splat. We've got a rapido and a normal splat coming around on the platforms now, which I'll leave because I want to focus on the last tank, which is around about here, where I shoot the cannon off into the boulder and into the splat, and then we've got the boulder coming back down to finish off that last splat, giving us all 3 of our WTD of our objectives and a 3-star kill, or 3-star level. So there goes the boulder into the first tank, and there's the boulder into the second tank. Then we've got the rapido hitting the bumpers into the slime, into the spikes, and then the last splat freaking out and facing its demise with a boulder at the bottom. So for this one you've got 3 different entrances for the splats. We've got 2 coming out the bottom, 1 coming out the middle, and 1 coming out the top. Sticking up the top we've got a proton beam that's shooting into a mirror over there already, and then we've got another mirror down there waiting to receive it. Then we're coming across them, we've got a button that is activated to, or connected to this pop-up spike over there, and then coming across the wall we've got a proton beam shooting straight down into the bottom, and then in this gap we have an activated proton beam already. We've got 1 button sitting down the bottom that activates the proton cannon up the top there, and then we have another button which activates the other proton beam around there. And we've got 4 mirrors, 1 conveyor belt, and a one-shot to work with. So first off I'm going to start with the mirrors. I'm going to place one here and then try and angle that out so that the beam is fairly high above the floor, because we want to get a lot of the body to head damage against the splat that comes out of this entrance here. And I'm going to place a a one shot straight underneath the button like so. For this one here, we're going to set a mirror over here and shoot straight across into, let's bring that down lower, because we're going to have this come shoot straight into the tank splat, which is coming out the bottom, out the middle over here. And to assist it, we're going to place a conveyor belt over here like that, so that it's running against the conveyor belt while getting shot by the beam. I'm going to place another mirror over here and let it angle out down towards the exit, because of this last mirror I'm going to place it here and angle it out sort of perpendicular against the platform here, not too much. I want it to take some sort of damage when it's coming around and down into the platform here, and so when Splats come across, hits that beam, it won't take enough damage, but it will definitely be finished off by this beam once it's activated. So I'll set it off and I'll speed up the Splats. I've tweaked it just a little at the exit, just so that the Rapidos do get hit by the beam. It'll seem like they're going to escape, but they're not going to. That'll give me my 3 stars. Got the first Splat up the top, getting taken out by the Proton Beam. This one's got enough damage done to be taken out by the second Proton Beam. Tank going against the conveyor belt, but gets taken out by the pit of spikes. And then the fourth Rapido, again, had enough damage taken to get done out by the Proton Beam at the exit. So this one is all about timing and the placement of your tools. We've got 2 boulders sitting up the top here with a conveyor belt shooting across to the left. We've got 1 teleport there that is connected to that teleport over there. We've got 1 hot pit. We've got 2 splats starting right before entering right before the exit. And then we have another 2 splats at the other end of the room. I'm going to set 1 stun bomb above this boulder here, and I'm only going to need that one. I'm going to put a conveyor belt and over here and have it shoot to the right, and then another one down the bottom to shoot to the left. And this is all just because of the particular timing that I have for this round here. I'm going to have a mine or bomb set right at the front of the entrance near the exit, and I'm going to have 1 shot just after it, shooting a splat up high, and hopefully if I've got the angle and the timing correctly, it'll send a splat into the boulder as it's coming on through. But I could tweak with it in the final cut. So I want to set the bomb off just as the Rapido comes right about there. The tank will get sent into the hot pit. We've got 2 Rapidos travelling through the I got it. That was all one shot. So we've got the tank getting hit into the hot pit by the bomb. Then we've got a Rapido getting hit by the boulder as it comes around, straight after the teleport. And there goes the other Rapido. And the tank getting caught at the same time by the boulder, by being sprung over the exit and into the line of it. This one's a fun one, but it's really easy as well. We have 4 splats coming up the top and 4 splats coming down from the bottom. Right after this entrance we have a fan pointed straight up. We've got a pit of spikes over there, and then we've got another pit of spikes on the other side with 2 teleports connected over on the top right hand side there. And then I've got 2 harpoons to work with, so I'm going to put 1 harpoon over here right in front of this teleport. So the harpoon will shoot a spear through the blue side of the teleport, come out through that side, hit a splat and into the spikes. And then I have a second one which I'll place over here, and now the angle is going to be quite difficult, so I need to make sure I get this one right. Because I need for that harpoon to hit a splat when it comes onto the platform to go in to hit the splat into the spikes over there. And so you'll just be switching between the two whenever you need to, or as you need to. And the best timing to get the splats is when they hit the platforms. So we're going to start with the bottom one first. As soon as it gets onto the platform, I'll shoot a spike. Oh no. So we've got the splat coming out the bottom. Once it hits the platform, that's when I'll shoot the harpoon. Then the next one up the top is when I'll shoot the harpoon as well. And then we've got the next one reset already for the tank splat. Then I'll do teleport. Then I'll do the open. Oh, come on. I managed to catch that one, and then we go again over here before heading to the teleport for the final spear to spike combo. And this is all it's going to be: harpoon to spike combo, harpoon to spike combo. So this one can be quite a bit of a trial error stage, but once you've got the once you've got your tools in place, you don't have to do much. So up the top we have 3 splats to work with. We've got a button that triggers the proton beam down the bottom here. Then we've got another button down the bottom here that triggers the proton beam tucked away in the gap over there. Above the proton beam up the top we have a bomb, and then we've got 2 pit of spikes above the top on the top left, and then we've got 2 splats down the bottom and 2 swinging spikes in the middle of the room down the bottom. We've got 1 cake, 3 one-shots, 1 mirror and 1 cannon to work with. I'm going to place the cannon over here. Wait, before I do that, I'll set a mirror over here and angle it perpendicular to the platform. much as possible. I'm going to place a cake over here, and I am going to put a cannon over here angling towards the cake, but that's not because of the cannon cake combo. That's to push back the second tank splat that'll come out, because once it hits into the beams, it's going to take that damage, and I need the cannon to shoot the tank backwards and continue to take this damage from the proton beam. I've got a one shot which I'll place before the button over here and send it, angle it out towards the rolling spikes. I have a one shot over here which I'll angle back towards the proton cannon, so that when a splat hits the bumper, it'll send it backwards, taking more damage from the proton cannon. Then I'm going to place a bumper over here and try and angle it out so that it comes up, over and around into the bomb, and then it should send a splat from the bomb over and up into the spikes up the top. And I may tweak it just a little bit, So got the Rapido down the bottom, eating cake and getting hit by that proton beam. Up the top we've got the tank splat, about to hit the bumper, to the bomb, to the spike combo. And then the second tank will come through to get hit by the proton beam before being sent backwards to receive more of that sweet proton beam damage. We've got the normal splat up the top, but we need to focus on the tank splat down the bottom. We need for him to take as much of that proton beam damage as possible, so that we can gain our 3-star from that damage. Then we've got the normal splat coming up over the top into the rolling spikes for our 3-star on the stage. So there's a Rapido getting taken out by the proton beam. There's the tank getting the bumper, the bomb, spike combo. The second tank taking all their proton beam damage after hitting the bumper. Then the third tank getting taken out by the proton beam damage before seeing the splat do the bumper to proton beam to rolling spikes combo over there. So this one should only get you thinking for a little while, but there is a bit of timing because there is a boulder involved. Starting from the top right, you've got a harpoon with a mine down the bottom and a bumper leading into that bomb with a spike trap down the bottom. We've got 4 splats to work with, and we have a bumper that is directed into the mine over here, and then we have another bumper and a boulder up the top there. We've got a stun bomb, a bumper, a fan and a cannon to work with. I'm going to place a cannon over here like so and direct that into the mine, so when a splat hits that bumper it'll come straight up. I'll activate the cannon, sending it into the mine over there. I'm going to place a fan right over there and angle it up and out towards this bumper here. I'm going to place a stun bomb over there and another bumper down and around over here, sending it up towards the next bumper over here, so that it'll give us the bumper to bomb to harpoon combo. And then once that bumper's gone, another splat should hit that bumper and send it down into the pit of spikes. So the first splat will come up and into the bumper, which I have a cannon waiting for it as soon as it hits peak, sending that splat into the mine. Then I'm going to let these two fly on by, and then I'll activate that bomb there, and hopefully it'll, yes. So I've got all the intended WTDs that I wanted, and gaining me a 3-star over there. So if I take it back, here's the bumper to cannon to mine combo. Then we've got the bumper to bomb to harpoon. Then we've got this splat getting taken out by the boulder. And then we've got the bumper to spikes with the boulder following straight after it. So this one will have everything to do not only with timing, but with the order of splats that you set the traps off at. We've got 5 splats to work with. We have one teleport up the top, and that's connected to the teleport down the bottom. We've got a bomb sitting underneath this platform. These two platforms are rotating around the middle platform over here. We've got 2 mines, pit of spikes up the top, and a hot pit with a bumper to spike combo sitting over there. We've got 1 harpoon, 1 cannon, 1 bumper, a 1 shot, and a slime to work with. I'm going to place a slime over here, and I'm going to place the bumper over here to be directed into the slime. Just before the slime, I'm going to have another bumper over here so that there should be a bumper to bumper to spike combo at the end there. And then I'm going to have a cannon face towards the blue and a harpoon facing towards the orange. And so at the peak of this platform coming up around about the wall, around the wall here, once the platform starts coming up, the harpoon will come this way, come out this way, hit the splat and into the spikes. When I need to, I'll shoot the cannon and it'll come out the blue portal, up, around and back down this channel into the mine down here, sending a splat off the platform and into the mines down over there. So the first one is a normal splat, which I'll let go. Oh, actually no, I'll set off the... Do I let it go? Oh, I got it. Sorry, I wasn't really thinking too much about it. I was just focusing on who I really needed to get first. One of the bumpers that I placed down didn't even need to be there actually, but it all worked. I got my 3 stars and got all the objectives sorted around there. So okay, so I managed to get that one, and then I just got the 2 tanks against the spikes up the top, which is part of the objectives, and then got a Splat doing the bumper to slime to hot pit combo. Now admittedly this will be a bit of a difficult one, and that's just because of the mechanics of the Splats itself and the way that they function on the stage, because it's not always clean. So I've got a Proton Beam up the top with a rolling spikes just after it. I've got a bumper that leads up into a slime on the angled platform there, and that leads it down to a teleport that's over there. I've got a button down the bottom which activates the pit of spikes up the top of it, and then I have another button here which activates the proton cannon over there, or the proton beam. Now you'll see that there's no button sitting up the top there. You kind of have to force the button to operate. Well, you have to try and operate the button with force. So I've got a slime, a mirror, a bumper, a teleport, and 2 one-shots to work with. You have to be precise with where you put this teleport. So I'm going to put it somewhere around about here, and I'm going to face the blue out to the left side. That might be over just a bit too far, so I'll bring it back in a little bit more and see if it works over there. I'm going to place a slime somewhere around all of that. I actually needed to hit sit somewhere tight in the middle, and then I'm going to put a one-shot over here and angle it out into the rolling spikes at the top there. Then I'm going to place a bumper over here and angle it out so that it sends these splats into the hot pit. I mean, I could, no, I'll go up high. I'll make them go up and over into the pit of spikes. I'm going to place a mirror over here and angle it down towards the bumper, so I get maximum burn damage when the splats hit the bumper. So somewhere around about there should do. And I'll have a one shot over here so that it hits the splat hits the button while having enough space to fall down and hit the bumper backwards, hit the bumper so that it goes backwards into the pit of, the hot pit down the bottom. Very hard stage. I've got 2 splats to work with as well, up the top, and 2 splats down the bottom. So from here on out, it's all about whether this actually works, so we're going to run it. Although I will tweak it if I need to. Okay, I've got the objectives. It's all about getting that 3-star. And I got it. I finally got it. I had to stay quiet because it had to happen. And I played it so many times. But like I said, it all comes down to the Splatts themselves. But we got it. We finally got it. Tank getting set on fire. And dying to the fire, the proton beam kill. That's what we needed. And I tweaked it out a little bit. Actually. So you can see the first Rapido setting off the button before being sent back into the hot pit. Then we've got the second tank getting taken out by the rolling spikes. We have the third Splat again being sent backwards into the hot pit, and the fourth tank Splat being taken out by the proton, or the remaining burning sensation of the proton beam cannon. And that was it. So this was the story where the mighty Seawolf heeded the call to become a professor's assistant and reclaiming all of his lost experiments. We'll see you in the next adventure.